What's up, guys, and welcome back to Terror Than StarCraft. Today I got a TVT, which I haven't actually casted in a very long time, in store for y'all. Spawned as the blue Terran player, we have dSelect. And spawned as the red Terran player, we have Kare. I hope he cares that he's probably going to lose this game, because dSelect has the most insane micromanagement I've ever seen in my life. And they will be playing on the new NASL map, Artifice, which is the name of the last map that I casted on that I didn't know the name. So there y'all know it. And like I said, it has a pretty big map. I mean, nice big open spot right here in the middle. But since they are actually close spawns on this map, as in they're not across the map from each other, we'll probably see this Zelnaga tower and right here being used the most with siege tanks and covering that, and maybe a marine or a few on the ground if they both do the very common marine siege tank. Now if they mech, that can change completely. I mean, still, like, the mech player would want to hold this as long as possible, because if you hold this route, then you're going to have all these expansions around there defended, unless the other player goes all the way around the map just to get at one of them, which actually puts him in the bad place, because then the counterattack is very easy. And I just realized into this I don't have music on, people. I am sorry. Y'all can just, I'm not gonna. Sorry about that. Music is back on. We got the awesome Terror music playing. And here we go with Kare's Scout. Yes, I believe I'm saying that right. If not, I am sorry. And Select is going to actually go the wrong way to Scout first, and Kare will have the pleasure of knowing where Select is first. And yeah, so Select actually not getting his gas, which is most likely going to be a gasless expand out of Select, and which is good with this wall off right here. Even if Kare comes up here, he won't know what actually Select's going to be doing, since he has no gas. Select's in a pretty good position. Now we do see one gas out of Kare, which, ooh, we might have a Marauder opening? Oh, that's pretty strong, especially since Marines actually are not going to do much against Marauders, since Marauders are heavy and have they're armored and have a lot of health, and they're heavy because they're fat. Anyways, but here comes Select's SCV's gonna come in here and see the Tech Lab and see the Marauder as it runs out and takes a shot at him. So the first idea for Select should be to pull that Marine back, because he wants to have as many Marines that he can together and get this bunker down very quickly before this Marauder gets over here. That bunker don't think it will finish by the time this Marauder does show up. We have 2 Marines, 3 Marines out. These Marines will be able to push this Marauder away, at least for a little bit, before the second one does show up, which is, oh, actually a Reaper coming out. 2 Reapers, whoa, that's huge. This is becoming quite an opener out of Kare, but we see the bunker is about to be finished. And here we go, we'll see the Marines come in here, and this Marauder will not be going by. But we do have Reapers on the way, which the Reapers can jump up right here, as you can see now. So these Marines will have to get out of this bunker to come around and deal with this Reaper, leaving this exposed to the Marauder that's waiting. Oh, actually the Marauder retreated back. Actually, Kare missed a very good opportunity right there to do some damage, because if with those Marines coming up, because you can't pull just 3 Marines to deal with a Reaper. That Reaper might, if microed correctly, will actually win. If he saw that with the Marauder, he could have actually ran straight in and done some damage down here, actually. I mean, even though it doesn't look like much, if he gets that Marauder in there, it can be really bad for Select, but he did not. Here comes the 2 Reapers, though, with the Marauder. Only 1 Marine in the bunker, though, so this is actually a very good combination right here. But it looks like the Reapers are going to come over to this side, and if they do approach this wall at all, they're going to take so much damage. And here we come, the Reaper is going to come up, and both die pretty much instantly. And the Marauder looks like he's going to back off for now, which is a very smart decision by Kare. You don't, I mean, right now Select is just sitting there getting ahead with this extra base that he has. Apparently they're lagging, but it's their replay. We don't lag in replays. You see that Kare is throwing his very own bunker down and moving his orbital command over, We do have a couple of Hellions out. It looks like Cloak Banshees. Okay, so we're gonna see Cloak Banshees now. Wow, this is some strategy by Kare here. Starts with a Marauder opening, then goes Reapers, and now to Banshees, but has a nice little Marine Hellion flavor to it, which if it catches Select off guard well enough, it should do a lot of damage. So we will have to see where this is going to go. And we actually have Stim and +1 attack on the way for Select, which if that gets done by the time this army hits, Select is going to actually be in a very good position. And here we come with the Hellions actually moving around the map right now to sneak around just in case Select was holding that supply depot. Wow. Just in case he was holding that Delnaga tower. Looks like the Hellions are just going to try to get a little bit of map control and make sure that Select didn't decide to go for another, like a fast third or anything. And we also see siege mode coming out. Okay, wow, this build has everything. You have some siege things popping out. Wow, this is a very interesting build. I have not seen this recently, so I don't know if this is a big thing or not. TVTs are not the biggest thing I watch, to be honest. Here we come with the 3 Hellions coming in here and getting cleaned up very easily. Very few workers were lost in the production of that kill. Wow, I am on the roll with the bad puns today, man. Let's see, workers lost only 3. That's pretty good. That's nothing to frown at, man. I mean, for 3 Hellions coming in, it could be a lot worse. Stimpack is about finished, and we have both reactors done on these barracks, so these barracks should be pumping like so fast. And we are going to see Bio out of Select, which is actually very good in TVT still. I don't care what people say. I mean, Bio, if used correctly, is an extremely good thing. You just can't run into a siege tank line. And did that Banshee? Oh, there they are. Wait, I was about to say I saw the rally point was set down there, but here we come. But here we go with the 2 Banshees, both with Cloak, and have a decent amount of energy on them. We'll see how this goes. I mean, we don't have a scan there. We do have 1 scan ready. We'll have a second one ready by the time, and we already have missile turrets up, so these are not going to do much, especially since that turret probably does see the Banshees. And looks like the Banshees are just gonna kind of wait over here. He needs to decloak so he can save up that energy, but they might just return back to base, which is probably a smart thing to do. And here we come with a big, well, decent sized Marine force coming out with 2 medevacs. I'll select to see what you can do here. There is a 2 siege tanks that are going to be, hopefully the other one will be sieged up, that will pretty much deflect this attack. We do have 3 Banshees in the air. Sorry, 3 siege tanks. One of us siege up on the high ground. Here we come with the Marines. He has to be, Select needs to be very careful though. Here we see, and we see him maybe, yeah, he's going to go on pullback, which is very smart. 3 siege tanks and 3 Banshees are going to be very hard to break with a few Marines, even with medevacs. And we see Kare is actually going to go on and take his 3rd. We see the 3rd being lifted by Select, and is actually opting to move closer to his opponent rather than taking this farther away spawn, especially since he's going Bio. It would be a lot easier to actually defend that one. You don't want your spawns close to him. Here we come with the Marines running in with a Stim, but a great siege tank shot, damaging a lot of those Marines, putting them in the red. If it was not for that combat shield, they would have died. That was just very good placement by Kare there. We see the 3 Banshees are still going to be moving out on the field and be active, which is good. Banshees are extremely good units. We see actually Select is going for Marine Siege Tank now, which is very good. Very good. Like I've been saying this whole game now, I've always been saying good. He only needs like maybe a few Siege Tanks to accompany this, and he will be set, because Marine Siege Tank is one of the best things to do. Yeah, I take back that statement I said earlier in the game with the Bio. That tech lab right there when I just saw 3 racks did confuse me. So here we go, we do We do have a sensor array, which I love by Kare, in a great position too. It's covering pretty much all the angles that you can come in. Actually 2 in there just in case there's a drop that comes in. It's like doing a good job of just kind of waiting out for an opportunity. We got a long missile charge right there actually from Kare just in case there's drop play going on. It looks like the Banshees are kind of just moving around a little bit. But here we come. Oh, both players unsiege. But who will siege up first and actually win this engagement? We do see a little bit more mech coming out of Kare, especially with those Hellions going to be able to maybe pick off. Yes, do pick off the siege tank with the help of the Banshees. We do see the siege up of Select though. Especially with high ground advantage, this is going to be completely in favor of Select. And here we come with the Hellions coming up here. We only do have one Banshee that actually cloaked. A lot of Marines got burned by that single Hellion engagement, but there's still so many Marines. I mean, just he needs to go up there and using the Banshees just to kite the Marines into the siege tank fire, and using these Banshees to take out those other siege tanks. Now putting Kare in a very good favor, but oh! With a bad unsiege timing, the Marines stand in doing so much damage, but here comes the Blue Flame Hellions doing so much, killing so many of the Marines. The Marines back out the siege tank line, but these Blue Flame Hellions are just roasting all these Marines alive. Well, mech is just wrecking Select right now. I mean, no amount of micros is going to stop this. And Kare actually forcing the liftoff of the third base. Very good job by Kare pushing Select back. It looks like Select will actually be taking this farther expansion, which you can't really blame them. In close spawns, you never want to extend towards your opponent. But here we come. And with another engagement, Select raining in some more Marines, but the Blue Flame Hellions are doing so much, but they have just dropped. And with Select, with the air control, it's going to move in, doing a lot of damage to these unsieged siege tanks, but even unsieged, they have the insane DPS Marines are going to be running back. Here we go with another siege up, and Marines are going to come in and do a lot of damage, but this one siege tank was sieged up, and a lot of Marines are dying from all this siege tank fire. SCVs are being pulled to try to deal with this, and now they're being pulled back with the siege tank still unsieged. A lot of Hellions did just show up for reinforcements. We have more Marines that just ran into the bunker, going to be able to pick off a couple of these Hellions, but the siege tank will eventually wither down on this bunker and take it out. This like trying his best to hold this off, but back at the main base we see that Kare is just macroing up to his heart's content, and it looks like Kare is going to maybe pull back for no, he's going to continue his push in, even with the siege tank right here showing them these so many siege tanks just taking out. But we do have 2 siege tanks on the high ground, which will clean up the rest of this force. Nice medevac drop to get some Marines on those siege tanks. There are only Hellions left, but these Hellions will not be able to do much against these siege tanks on the high ground. And it looks like Digital Select does hold for now, but how much damage did he really take? Look at the supply, such a big difference, 128 to 88. Kare is in such a huge lead now, and it's actually he is now expanding closer to Select, especially since he does have the advantage that he can completely siege up and hold this mill very easily, maybe right now, unless Select picks right now to engage, which he does not want to engage into that siege tank line. Wow, that siege tank is just spazzing in that corner right now. Man. And we do see a little bit of a Hellion harass back here at the third of Select, but there was not that many SCVs to begin with over there, so it didn't do a huge amount of damage. It did get a few of the mules, which do make a difference sometimes. It looks like Select is going to opt to siege up right here to help defend his third. Try and macro up. He needs to spend time catching up. We do actually have a Thor out, and more Thors on the way from Kare. Thors are good at absorbing siege tank fire to help him break the walls. And it looks like Kare is actually going to devote himself to mech now, with almost no Marines coming out anymore, whilst like say Marine siege tank. And here we come with the Hellions coming in, but the siege tanks are completely sieged up. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a siege war here as 2 Vikings from Kare come in and start trying to pick off medevacs. Very good micro by Kare, actually taking out a few and damaging the other ones. The Marines cannot run in case just in case this siege tank fire does hit it. And it looks like, is Kare going to come in? Here we come. Oh, nice little hit by the Thor, damaging some medevacs. And here we come with the Banshee with 2 Vikings. No Vikings from Select right now, so this Banshee's just got full reign of this mech army. Be able to force the Siege Tanks to unsiege. So that's going to let Kare actually move out, but we see 2 Vikings are out now. For Select, and with the early hit, Select is going to win the Viking engagement and actually take control over the sky and take out this Banshee so he cannot harm his forces anymore. A little bit of a misclick there from Select. Didn't get lost. Maybe one extra tank instead of killing off that Banshee very early. And it looks like Select is going to keep the air dominance for now until reinforcements do show up for Kare. And we actually see a drop is going to go on here by Select. Actually going to go around, which is very smart, but it looks like there's going to be a major engagement right here. Kare did move in. Siege tanks for Select were siege though. But Kare's just going to break through this line very easily. He's going to clean this up. Only 2 Thors back on base. That medevac has unloaded back up here, but will not be able to do anything. And Kare's forces are just going to kind of move right now into Select's base, doing so much damage. Here comes one of the Hellions on the high ground, picking off some of the Hellions. But I mean, with this force, there's only so much that Select can do, especially with supply 182 to 113. Kare is sieged up on the low ground, and here we even come with SUV trying to get high ground vision, but instantly gets destroyed by these siege tanks up here. Here we come with the Thor. The Thor will be able to tank all this damage from the siege tank very easily, and they're going to go over and pick this off. But Select cannot engage this with those siege tank lines down there. See a little bit of the engagement right here with Hellions destroying the workers of Select. Thor still spotting the high ground of Select's main. But here we come with the drop to be denied by these 2 siege tanks. Well, or not. These Marines will be able to attack, but there is a siege tank back here, so if those Marines move anymore, they are going to die. Here comes another drop by Select, killing off a lot of workers, but still not enough to help him. That Kare can actually just move up into Select's base right now. Doing so much damage, Select can just not stop this force. There is a siege tank and some Thors back here, but that is not enough to break all these siege tanks that are now sieged up. We do see Select is bringing out some more Marines, trying to make something happen that's going to let him win, but this just looks like such a bad situation for Select. And there's the GG from Select, and he left the game. So Kare actually taking out one of the most scary Terrans, especially foreigners, since he's from the US, out there, and I mean, showing of it, just putting himself in such a huge lead early on. So anyways, I wanted to spend a little bit though after the game to say just a few things. First of all, I am gonna try and make like a schedule for uploading now, and I'm looking at Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, because I mean, I am a college student, so I can't upload all the time still, but I want to try to get the most out of it. So looking at Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and right now I'm looking at Tuesday and Thursday being professional replays like this one, and Saturday I'm thinking about doing maybe like amateur replays. So that's what I've been doing a little bit so far. So I always like casting amateur games. It makes a lot of people happy. It shows that there are other people besides these professionals out there that play StarCraft and play StarCraft well. So I'm thinking I'm going to start doing that a little bit. It's fun on my part too. I like seeing other people play and see how they can reinvent the game sometimes. So anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.